Hey everyone, and welcome to the 1 million subscriber special. What? Hello everyone, and welcome to the 1,000 subscriber special. What? Hello everyone, and welcome to the 100 subscriber special. What? The hell is it supposed to be? I mean, this is blank, so this isn't telling me anything, but... Welcome to the 1 subscriber... Alright. In all seriousness, let's just preface this with... This is gonna be fucking long, because this is a video about, so this is kind of a celebration of me being on YouTube for 10 years. 10-year special, or whatever the fuck I'm gonna call it. I don't know how to title things. Who knows how it's gonna look? You know, because you clicked on it. You saw what it said. Me? Motherfucking, pre-edit, pre-production Sam? I have no fucking idea. But, I don't know, I just wanted to preface it with a thing. And be like, we're going to be talking a lot, so it's probably going to be really long, and I'm sorry. But also, I thought it would be kind of nice. And if it sucks and I hate it, I'll just delete it like everything else I deleted, which, things I didn't like or whatever. So it's fine, it's good, it's fine. It's good or fine. The things to look forward to here, I guess we're going to run down. I'm just going to look at the list here. I wrote a lot of stuff on a piece of paper, trying to condense it so it's easier for me to digest, and it's okay. And I'll just film these parts and edit it together whenever, and we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I'm going to plan on the basic structure. We're going to be talking about pre-YouTube, what I did, a little bit of stuff I was doing before that was related to this kind of content, and then I'm going to talk about early YouTube. I'm going to talk about some failed series, also things that I tried, and they don't exist on my channel anymore because I stopped doing them. I got rid of them; they weren't working. Relive some of those failures. I'm going to probably mark the start of each type of content that I was doing, that I'm currently doing. We're going to look at the start of those, to see kind of when they started and whatever and how it was. I guess that might be interesting, right? These things, I'm all hoping all these things are interesting. I speak very well. I'm going to talk about probably the community and how the process of me doing videos and everything, and talking about things and maybe good or bad ideas, that kind of thing. Not like I'm the greatest guy to tell you what's good or bad. I'm going to talk about, what is that fuck? Oh. Talk about the tech, how I've upgraded my tech a little bit. And then talk about, what I want to do in the channel, kind of going forward, what I'm planning to do. That'll be fun. Maybe. And then we're going to look at some top videos that I've done by things like views and likes and whatnot, as per the analytics on YouTube itself. Thanks, YouTube. That's mostly it. So that's a lot of things I wrote down. I also decided to... Oh, fuck. I was planning to wear this hat also during the intro part, because this would kind of represent, what's the deal with Sam. And the reviews, I usually wear the hat for those. But I didn't, so that's out the window. And I wanted to kind of pull back from this to be like, this is the backdrop I use for What's the Deal with Sam now. And it's a shower curtain covering my closet where the door sucked, so we stopped using the closet door here. And this was the solution we came up with. Stay tuned for more things. I'm really going all out for this video, so much so that I decided this was an okay shot. From here. And it's definitely not that, I was just too lazy to move the tape recorder from up there to a place that's easier to shoot. It's definitely that I thought this was a good shot. It's my good side, which is my face. My fat, stupid face. So this is kind of talking about pre-YouTube. Start here, because I used to do some content of recording things before YouTube, and I did it on that bad boy. I actually had a different tape recorder too. My brother Seth and I would do this shit. We're like, a lot of it I don't even fucking remember. We don't even have the tapes anymore. I think we actually maybe even had a different tape recorder for a little bit, and then we had this. And it's funny thing, we had this. There was like a microphone that we plugged into it to record into. Then at one point the microphone we had busted, and it's like shit, it doesn't work. But then we found out that you can just hit record, and this will record sound like just through like I think the speaker somehow. So like if you just hit record on a blank tape like that, it'll like that's how it records the sounds. You just be around the speaker of this thing, just be around the tape recorder, and it will record shit. And so we recorded a ton of things on that. We even had like the lid. Like I wrote on a couple of things that were recurring. Like we did a lot of random skits, oldest comedy bits on there and stuff, to try to make it something funny. So then we'd record that and then listen to it later. Like a recurring one was the news, which was just us, doing a thing where we're kind of like parroting the news, because I guess we'd seen the news on TV a few times, and it was one of those things that just is on TV, and so we were kind of like, okay, well, we'll do that. We'll like make fun of that and basically like do it at the same kind of like cadence or whatever as like news reporters and stuff, with like different segments. But usually we're just coming up with weird shit, or we were doing stuff that was pretty mundane, and then the other person was doing weird shit in the background and make it funny. So that was mostly that. Also, for some reason, my character was Fox McCloud as the anchor. I guess I say host. I don't know if is host the correct even word for that. Whatever. But I was often the main dude for that, and doing the top stories and everything or whatever. I don't know why. It's because I knew Fox's name was Fox McCloud. I didn't really take on any personality traits of him or anything. I also did another thing was like wrestling interviews. We watched a lot of wrestling, which was WWE at that point. And we were pretty into it, and so we would just have it basically be like mock up things of like, okay, so like just some interviewer guy is just interviewing whatever like wrestler and just asking them questions, or trying to do our best to like respond with things that like that wrestler would say to these questions. So it was a lot of like basically the one person is just asking weird stuff and trying to like lead us down like a weird like some kind of path with these questions, and the other person is just trying to kind of play up the character and see how well they can like capture that character. So that was always really fun to do. Enjoyed doing that, even though it usually was either completely insane or kind of dumb, whatever. It was fun. And there's I think actually we did this for a little while too, a little bit later. Got a little older for it, and I remember. I think I do have one thing up here of a tape where it was a pretty old one. We'd been doing it for a while, and we came back to just do another one of these. Because a lot of these when we were like, I don't know, from like, I think I was maybe like 7 or 8 or something to like, that's how I was like maybe 13 or 14 or something. Like, it was a weird like range of like doing stuff. A lot of it's been spawned from just doing, like summers we were bored and it was like, well, we get to be home alone now, and like, what do we do? And we just fucked around with that, and it was kind of fun. We did it when it wasn't summer also, but I think I still have a tape up there of a later one that we did where it's like, oh hey, like, just like a thing like a Batman show. We're doing a bunch of weird stuff with that, and that one actually came off pretty well. I think we did a good job with that one for an improv thing, so that was fun. Built up those improv skills that I still don't really have, so it's a good thing I built those, because I don't have them. And then there was also a thing called Idiot Rock Band, where we just pretended like we were a band. We had like a little toy keyboard. You could only hit like 2 notes on it at a time, but like it was kind of junky. But like we made it work for a while there. We did that, and a lot of that was just me being like, my brother was playing the songs, he came up with the music, and then I would just improvise lyrics on the spot, which is not a good way to make songs for all of your songs, but that's what I did, and I was very adamant about doing that every time. And like, we made an album of that. And I think we even did like some faux like whatever, like, oh, we're doing like a live thing, whatever. We did like one of those, and like we throw the characters into other stuff and from the skits and everything now and then too. Again, these are all recorded on these tapes. And then there was a we wanted to do another one, but we're like, we should finish up that first one because there's some blank space at the end of the one tape. So it was like, how many years later, like our puberty had hit. You could tell we sounded very much different, and we're trying to sound the same in that. Then we go to like the second album. My brother's like learning how to play guitar, so he's playing guitar, and I'm singing over that, and I'm just trying to recapture that what I'm trying to sing from those other things, and it sucks. A lot of it's pretty bad. Some of it's okay, but I'm trying like really hard to make myself sound a way that I can't anymore, and so that was kind of that. And then we even started to do a third album, and that got pretty big and like complicated. And I think we got kind of frustrated with each other of how we were trying to do things because my brother wanted to make stuff that was more complicated and like layered and like structured, and I still wanted to be like, no, let's just like throw like music out and I'll just sing over it and like it'll just be fun, just like throw it out there. And I think that kind of like that plus whatever, like teenagers and probably were just really upset about things anyways very easily, so then it was like we just kind of didn't finish that. But that was like kind of the start of like the music thing too. And did I have something else written down here? Oh, and then eventually I guess I did sort of start doing my own. I got my own keyboard when I was like 13 or something, and I decided I'm gonna do stuff. I can do things too, and so I decided to start doing stuff. And like I kind of mess around with that. And there's a bunch of tapes I have. I think I got all those onto YouTube, but I had a bunch of tapes of just me recording stuff, a lot of instrumental stuff, and playing around with that. And at one point, I even decided like to make another album again, I guess, on tape. It was actually because I tried to try singing again, and like I made it because it was like a Christmas present for someone, and so then like I ended up like making it so like I had a 60-minute tape and an hour-long tape, because they're like 60, 90, and 120 minutes were the different like tape lengths I'd had. And so I recorded the one that was for me on the 60, and then I also on the 121 that was the gift for someone, I recorded another side of stuff. That's what made it one of a kind. It's like they're the only person that was going to get this one that has this extra side of like this whole other set of songs on here as well. So I don't really remember the songs. Like maybe if I heard them again, I'd be like, oh yeah, I did those, but I don't fucking remember. I sincerely doubt they have that tape anymore. So that's fun. And just I don't know. That was how it went, man. That was where that. What the fuck does that mean? That's how it went. That's just where like I guess a lot of this started, and I was recording stuff on there and doing things, and so I already was kind of used to the idea of recording like random shit and like comedy things and music and whatever before I even had a camera or was on YouTube or anything. That's a good start. I can get out of this awkward position now. Let's cut to the next thing. Alright, so let's use this angle and shot. Show off a little bit of my keyboard. You probably can't hear that. To talk about early YouTube. When I started on YouTube 10 years ago today, February 19th, 2010. Which I kept misremembering as I must have started in 2008 or 2009, right? Nope, it was 2010. So all these times I said I've been on YouTube for over 10 years, I've been lying. But when I say it from now on, it'll be true. So, like, early YouTube. I didn't do a whole lot when I first started YouTube. I mostly just did music. I did a few random, just songs. I was me kind of like playing my keyboard. I also did, because like even early then, I was still recording some of my stuff onto tapes because I wasn't like sure, like, am I going to do this, like it was just some of these songs, like just random one-off things that weren't full albums or anything. I think I did eventually do a few full albums of just instrumental stuff also on YouTube when I decided to kind of like stop going on the tapes. Eventually the tape player broke, so I kind of had to. So still having it is just kind of and it's still a reminder of like having it, like how much it got me through and like all this stuff it did, and it's cool to still have it. I think we tried to get it repaired once too, and there just wasn't like somebody like didn't have the parts or something to do it, so that was gonna be like a present for me at one point though. Someone was like, they were like, "Hey, what about this?" And I was like, "Well, tried." Uh, it was a nice thought. I mean, I still have it, so that's probably good. Yeah, because I did a few music videos too. What do you mean? What do you mean a cheat sheet? No, that's definitely music. Is this high def enough for you to read it? No. Dear God. So like, it was just like great improv skills. Like it was like just like. Some of them are me going around and doing stuff. Like relative motion was one where I was just like, I think these might be gone. Some of these might be gone too. Relative motion was one where it was like just showing stuff either sped up in Windows Movie Maker or like slowed down clips. So fast things slowed down and slow things sped up to make them look like they're like the motion look interesting. And then I did, I think I did like Memories was one where it was like supposed to be being like I did two versions of that. Like one I think I was showing actually like personal stuff of like people I knew. And so, like, I made that one, like, I don't think that was necessarily public either. I just showed it to some people that were involved in it. I say involved in it. People who were, like, parts of, like, that inspired it, I guess. And then, like, I made a version that was more like, okay, nobody's in there, it's just me. So I can actually put this on YouTube and show it to people, like. So that was the thing I also did. And then I did, Orb of Power was one where I did it with, like, MS Paint. I use Paint and Windows Movie Maker a lot. I still use them to this day. Professional tip. Best software out there is Windows Movie Maker and Microsoft Paint. Unless you care about making, like, stuff that looks good. So consider that. But yeah, so I did a lot of that. And I made, like, Orb of Power was one. It was, like, a whole animated kind of thing. Like, I kind of cheesed some of it with some effects, but, like, I tried to make it more animated and stuff with what was going on, and like it was cool, interesting, a simple idea, and it's kind of like storyboarding out what clips do I need and whatever, and timing it, and kind of pain in the ass, but once you finish it, it feels cool. I think I did a couple of those. I can't remember what else I did. I was thinking of doing that for a bunch of things. I made some stuff also for stuff because I was in a movie Photo Bros, which we did like high school and a high school. And mostly like my brother and his friend wrote it, and then with me in mind, because I helped come up with the idea. It was just a stupid idea. I think we're one of the weddings we went to. We were just like walking around like, before, I think it was before the day or whatever of the wedding or whatever stuff. We were like walking around just somewhere out there, places to take pictures because it was a nice picturesque place we were going, and it was like made up these weird characters of like. It's like, we're the photo bros, we take the kick-ass photos, and like, it just sounded like really, like, I don't know why just thought it was really funny. And so we ended up making those like characters for this, and they're supposed to be like German American or whatever, and it's like, it's dumb, but like, it was a fun time making it. Like, I didn't write any of it though, it was like those two wrote it, and I was like, I went in, I did my thing. I was more involved in the soundtrack and making the songs. I did that with Seth also, and it was like, that soundtrack is up. I think the movie still needs to be. I think I need to fix it and like recut it or something so it doesn't have copyrighted material in it, and then I could put it back up, and then you could watch that. So that's the thing I want to do. I just haven't done, but yeah, we used copyrighted music in it, so I think we just replace that with other stuff, which won't necessarily even work for some scenes, but like at least you'd be able to salvage it and have it be up without it being taken down. I think they still have it taken down or silenced or something. So like that's an issue. But we'll see what goes on. So I was doing like that stuff. I made like a few music videos for those songs. A couple of those I did, and then what the fuck else I have written down here? Oh, we did like a little short film thing. It's like Giovanni and Alberto move a table. We're supposed to be like a silent like film thing, and it's like a comedic like physical comedy thing where we're just supposed to be moving a table. I don't know. That was fun. That was pretty fun to do. Because I think I express okay physically. I'm pretty bad with emoting in general, I think, but like I think I did a pretty good job there, at least for my capabilities. And then the Sam Lilly Comedy Hour, of course, I've talked about that before, which is an idea we had of like this comedy like act where it's like it's just like a stand up thing, and it's just really stupid like bad observational humor. And it made a whole show out of it. Yeah, and it spun off, that kind of like What's the Deal, Sam spun off of that. But that was really fun. I still actually want to re-release that, which I know I already did, and it wants to do a Sam episode, so maybe I'll just do a standalone thing. What I want to do, essentially, is make it so the audio is even. Have the video still, like, be the same aspect ratio, so it doesn't, like, make it look like it's fucking letterbox. And then, like, I'm thinking I can probably do that. I think I know how to do that now, in a way that will just make it work. That will actually be easy. So we'll see how that looks and sounds, and I might throw that up as like a, hey, this looks good. Well, I might not. We'll see. That's not something that really needs to be done, obviously. That's just like a, hey, that might be a little bit nicer, but the thing already exists, and it's, yeah, the audio has problems, but it's fine. Majority of it is fine. It's just some of the commercials are different volume than, like, when you actually get the other bits, so. I think that's mostly all I wanted to hit for these, pretty much. Like, I didn't do a whole lot in early YouTube. It was more just like, I went on, and it wasn't until a little bit later that I started to get influenced to do other things, where I was like, I was watching a lot of, like, Angry Video Game Nerd, and I saw I was kind of looking for more people to watch more things, and I found, like, stuff like JonTron, and, I saw, like, Game Grumps, Super Beard Bros. I saw a ton of people that some of them I don't follow anymore, but, like, I feel like those ones were pretty big ones for me, and, like, also I watched a lot of Red Letter Media, so I'd seen a lot of, like, this kind of stuff, and I started getting influenced to, like, do some more of my own things. I also kind of stumbled into the ASMR thing, not really knowing what it was, and mostly because I was like, maybe I can find attractive Asian women if I just Google that on YouTube, and this ASMR thing came up. It was like I was speaking like ASMR in Korean, and it was Pigs Bum 53. And so then I watched that, and I watched multiple videos, and eventually found out what the fuck ASMR kind of was. And I was like, I totally know what that is. I've had that. I know there's a word for that, or a term for that. This is not a word, but. And then I started doing that, and like, so that, like, and the one Lilium, those are two really big ones for me starting out doing ASMR. And yeah, I used to follow a lot more people. I was way into YouTube, and then I kind of scaled back, and here I am. And that's early YouTube, and I think we can move on to the next thing, because I rambled for a long time. What did I just do, and what do we need to go to? Oh, good. Oh, goody. You're going to like this one. Alright. Time to look at some failed series. This should be fun. So, I think I wrote down, I jotted down a bunch of them here, because there's a bunch of stuff I kind of tried and it didn't necessarily work out. A couple of them were like projects, I think, that never really, it wasn't like I started doing them and then like they went off of YouTube. It was more like we started making them and then the process were like abandoned, or I started. So the two that were definitely that were like, where the fuck are they? Real Cops, Real Stories, that was mine. And like just weird little, I think I just had a few goofy bits of like, just goofy cop characters talking about stuff, and I was like, I'll turn this into like a whole like documentary thing about like cops, and like it's kind of a comedic like look at that. And I really only had like a few shots. And then I was like, okay, well, like, this is cool, I like this idea, and I was really into it, and I was going to continue it, and then it was like, I think I had, either, like, we deleted stuff, or I had switched to the projects to, like, a different computer. I think probably what happened was that I think it was very likely I had started to do something, like, like, I started this project and stuff, and I moved the stuff over to a different, like, to, like, a USB or something, and I moved it, and I was like, okay, I'll start doing it now, get on this computer, and not realizing that you have to bring all of the same files over too, and they have to have those same like pathways and stuff. And so like because everything was moved and different, the project was completely fucked. I didn't have that stuff anymore, and so I couldn't actually make this, and I didn't want to redo that. It was like crushing that like those things I liked so much already were gone. So I just didn't bother. What else? Oh, Bullet McKill was this maybe a shitty action movie thing we were going to try to do. To be like really lame, like overly cool, badass character. I was going to be Bullet McKill. We had a few shots, I think, but that was all we had, and then kind of abandoned it because we didn't know for some of the stuff how we were going to do it, and we got kind of just busy and just kind of dropped it. But that was something that was going to happen that you never saw. Well, there's Sam's Halloween Special. Now, I have Sam's Halloween Variety Hour. I've done multiple of those. So far, for all the years I've had this, I think I've only missed one. I think only 1 year I didn't do something, I think. But I did since I started doing it. So maybe I didn't do these the first year I was on. I don't know. But I had Sam's Halloween Special, which was just me doing like a bunch of different music mostly, like spooky music. I think I may have done some introductions or something for some of these, and like been like, here's this song is kind of like this, and and I just kind of introduced the songs and whatnot for most of them, that kind of thing. Even though it's kind of like petered out near the end, I didn't really like them that much, so I got rid of them. Oh yeah, I was going to mention before the other bit, but I'll mention it now since this is going to be in order. I guess I started doing some of that like one-off music stuff, and I guess if you want to count this as a failed series, it's not, but it's vaguely related. So what I did with a lot of those is they aren't there anymore, and I just put them all into like this thing of like inventing Sam, I think is what I called it, and I just had it like basically all those songs that I had as one-off things hanging around. I compiled them into like 4 different like volumes of stuff, and then those are up as like albums that way. So that's what I did with that. So those aren't there anymore. The fuck else we got here? So then we got Sam's Snippets and Utter Repeat, where I kind of came up with them around the same time. I don't remember exactly when that was. It was still like when I was making a bunch of different stuff still, and I was like, this would be kind of neat. So Sam's Snippets was basically, I would say, a line from like not from a movie, but something you'd hear like on a movie or something, and then they would play it on TV and edit it, and how they would overdub it with something else. And I think there's like a few examples. I don't know, like one of them was just like really funny ones. Like there's the one from Shaun of the Dead where like they replace fuck with funk. I think the scene is called like Funky Pete. You can find it on like the DVD. There's that one. And whatever they say, prick. And I see anything you hear prink. So like it's. I thought that one was super funny. There's the one for The Big Lebowski where like they're smashing up like the car. And this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass. And it switched to this is what happens when you find a stranger in the Alps. But the funniest one to me was just hearing what the fuck was it? It was Dumb and Dumber. It was like, where do I sign? Right on my ass, right after you kiss it. Which was changed to right on my sandwich, right after you kiss it. And I just thought that was so goddamn funny, because they didn't even like switch it to something that was like a single syllable that would fit there. They changed it to something that has more syllables. It's obviously not what he said. It's so funny. So I did something basically like that. I would just replace it with something goofy on the audio on it, and that was the thing. And then Utter Repeat was something around the same time where it was like, okay, well, I'm just going to say something weird and loop it a number of times. Almost like a Vine, I guess. I don't know if Vine was a thing. I definitely, if it was, I wasn't aware of it. I didn't do anything with it ever. But, like, Utter Repeat, yeah, I'd say something and then I would just loop it until it's like 30 seconds long or something, I think, or about that long. And then 20 or 30 seconds, something like that. And then that was it. And then my idea was just like, I'll be able to make more content. It's goofy, maybe people like that. And I started to just hate them because they felt like just felt like very nebulous and felt like nothing, and so I got rid of them. And so they ended pretty quick. Then there's about the albums. That's another one about the music stuff. So basically, after I'd done so many albums and had those up, I'd been actually singing and stuff on them too. Once I started doing that again, which it was a long time after that one album that I made. It was a long time. It was like not long. It felt like a long time. A number of years, like at least a few years. It probably wasn't really that long. It just felt like it because I was younger. But it was like, yeah, I'll start doing this again. I did, Thoughts from Beyond the Mind is kind of like a thing to lead into it, and I started doing more and more. And it's kind of finding my own voice. But, like, about the albums, then it was like after I had a number of these out, and I was like, well, I can do this, and I can look back on these and, like, talk about the different songs and stuff. And I think I canned it because people didn't really care. I don't think there's enough interest there for me to keep doing that. The other thing with it is that it was, like, it was kind of, how do I put this? Where did my mind go? I think I like also decided like I'm not gonna like do that because like I don't really know what I want to say for all the songs or anything either. So there were some songs where I was like I had to like basically what I should have done is re-listen to all the songs and like see if there's anything I wanted to say about them. But I was just like, kind of like like looking at the track list and stuff and be like, I don't know, I didn't have anything to say about this one, whatever. And so like that's probably not a good way to do it. So I was kind of unhappy with the way I'd done it. I don't think anybody really cared that much, so I kind of canned it. I thought about bringing it back as an ASMR about the albums thing, but I didn't. And I've toyed with the idea of like maybe I can bring that series back now, but again, I don't know that anyone cares, so I don't. I likely won't. And there's so many things I've forgotten. I don't know how interesting it would even be. This video is pushing it, but this video is me talking after like doing stuff for 10 years, so I think it's got a little more, a few more legs to stand on. Maybe somebody will care. Oh yeah, and speaking of ASMR Sam Rambles was a thing where I still do that. I still ramble in ASMR videos, but a lot of times, like, I just had a sub-series of it where I was like, oh, so, like, Sam Rambles. I don't know why. I guess I don't really know why. I guess maybe to separate it from stuff where I'm trying to do stuff with certain sounds or something. But, like, yeah, it didn't necessarily need to even exist. It was not great. The other things here are kind of all related. There was Sam Lilly Game Topics was me trying to do like a podcast by myself. I think I'd seen like a downloadable podcast, I think is what it was, or downloadable cast. I think maybe is what it was called. It was the one that the completionist was doing on that one Video Gamer. I saw some of those. It was people talking about games in general. I like doing that. I like the talking about game stuff. And so like I already started doing reviews back then. So Sam Lilly Game Topics was to talk about things that weren't specifically like this is this game. But it wasn't very good because I'm not great at talking about the stuff. It's not like I did any research or that I had a very interesting perspective on a lot of these things. So a lot of stuff I brought up was not great. Also, it was it was also playing into the thing of like, hey, it's a podcast. It's supposed to be it's like you just listen to it, right? So that at least I didn't have to worry about like my lack of visual stuff. But I was like, I also didn't have anybody on it, so it was just me talking, so it wasn't really all that great of a thing to have. So I kind of, I ended up axing that, and that was also after Sam Lilly Reviews Games, after that tanked as well. I did that, and that was basically, when I started it, it was like, it was because I had, like most of the series, the stuff I was starting was because I could just set my camera up on the little, like, desk thing and just point it at me and just start talking. And so, for those, I was after watching so many people do these reviews, I'm like, I want to do those too. I want to talk about video games. I feel like I have a lot to say. And so then I would, like, decide, like, I'm going to talk about this game. Sit down, point the camera at me, hit record, hold the game up, and be like, hey, I'm going to talk to you about this game. It's called Stanley Reviews Games because I couldn't think of a name of I couldn't think of a hook or a gimmick or anything. And I couldn't think of, like, what I would want to call it that wouldn't be taken necessarily. So I just called it Sam Lilly Reviews Games because I don't think anybody would call their show that unless they were also called Sam Lilly and decided to review games and were being very uncreative and blunt about it. So that's how we got Sam Lilly Reviews Games. And then it basically was, yeah, just looking at the camera, talking about the game for a long time. Lots of moments of me being like, fuck, like I like just stuttering and like not knowing where my point is, losing my point and having to like sit there for a few minutes and be like, sometimes I would come back to it and get it, sometimes I wouldn't. I would repeat shit a lot, and it was just really bad. And people were even like, hey, you should put some gameplay in there. And I was like, I don't have any equipment to put in gameplay, so I can't. And then I think a little bit, there was one point when I couldn't record the video parts for a while, so I was just writing reviews, and when I was able to record again, I just read the written reviews. And those were good, because like these other reviews also, the things where I just sat and talked, they were like, usually around the realm of like 40 minutes to an hour long, most of them. They were just really long. Like, I know myself's kind of long now, too, but those are, like, really fucking long. And so what I did to kind of try to work with that then, too, like, was like, kind of the alternative, and I looked up, Google searched some images of the game to get some, like, perspective. Like, this is what the game looks like while I'm talking about it, and I would just read the script and just cut out the parts where I fill up the line or whatever, just make it all string together. And it was nice because it made it so that it was way shorter. Most of those are, like, 10, 15 minutes, if that. It was me, like, saying all the things I wanted to say because my thoughts were already organized on the page. and then you could see some of the game. So I was like, this will be way better. And some people were still like, I want to see gameplay. I was like, shit, I can't show gameplay footage. I don't have a thing for that. And I think I got frustrated because people still aren't really responding to it very positively. Which, in retrospect, I mean, the fact that they were interested enough to be like, hey, you could improve this is probably pretty good. That's something I don't even get now most of the time. Most of the time, people just don't even fucking say anything, or they just throw, insults out or something. But, like, or they're a bot. But, like, there's, like, I don't know. The other thing was that I didn't like the way it sounded, because I'm not very good at acting. Don't you know? So, like, I'm pretty bad at acting, and so, like, you just tell I'm reading it off of the fucking page, and it just sounded, I hated the way it sounded. Because it sounded like I was reading a script, because I was, and I'm a bad actor. Then, I did do a couple of cool things with it, though. There's, like, a thing where I compared, like, Super Smash Bros. Games and Mario Kart games, I think. It's like compare and contrast. I kind of just sectioned off, like, review of, like, I think Jeff Force Gemini were talking about, like, controls and, like, the collectibles and stuff, like, I don't know, like, these different things, sectioned off into different areas, so I was kind of experimenting with some of those things, but, those kind of fell to the wayside until I eventually did real-person reviews, where I recorded my screen, and I, because I just really want to talk about Conker's Bad Fur Day and whatever, so I was like, oh yeah, well, we'll get to that with the start of each series thing, but, like, once I hit that, I feel like it hit a pretty good, formula, and it's worked a lot better, even though most people still don't like it or watch it. I also did Let's Plays, or I tried to a few times, and I remember I did, Sam Lilly playthrough, which was, again, my great original naming concepts. I was like, well, I want to play this game, like, I want to play stuff, do Let's Plays, because I was watching lots of Let's Plays, and it was fun to be in the comments and have comments going on, and, like, I thought it would be kind of fun to have running jokes and have a community thing kind of feeling to it, so it's like, I'll do that, and I just recorded, like, the screen of the stuff I was playing for a few of those. Like, I think I did Pokemon Crystal and, like, Pokemon Sapphire, some of those, and Zelda 2, the Game Boy Advance version of that. I don't know, at some point I changed it into, I think I tried even doing, like, a screen recorder thing, a really crappy screen recorder thing my brother found. I don't know, there's so many, like, slight iterations of doing this kind of thing, because I did this and I also did Real Person Plays, which he made the theme for the intro and outro things, and I made the title cards and, like, the thumbnail things, whatever. I made stuff for those, for the beginning and ending things, and, Real Person Plays was the same thing, but after Real Person Reviews had started, and I was doing the same kind of methods, and at one point I got, like, that screen recorder thing that sucked. It was just so choppy, you could barely get anything. I tried the free thing of Bandicam, that also kind of sucked. It was better, but it was still not that many frames, and also it and slowed things down, and it has a Bandicam watermark on it, so I had to play stuff in windowed mode to, like, kind of make sure Bandicam wasn't covering up important information. And my mic sucked then too. I was using the built-in mic of whatever, or maybe my headset mic, and they were not great. So audio was kind of an issue. It wasn't great, and it's not that interesting. I didn't pick the best stuff. I think Rogue Legacy is one of the games I played. Played Miri. I don't know. I did some stuff. I did things, and, like, I think the last time was after I had started streaming. I tried, like, one more time when I had OBS and that capture stuff, and which I didn't realize was so easy to do and work with. I maybe could have done that sooner. And I decided, okay, well, I'm going to try this one more time, and I did some Let's Play of Shantae, Risky's Revenge, and I was playing through that. And I didn't really get much of a response for that either, so I decided, fuck it, I'm just going to stream instead. So then that goes up, and it's kind of like a Let's Play, plus people can come in and interact live instead of having to watch it and interact with me and me going back, be like, what was I saying there? And this at least helps me make more content without having to be so bad, because then it's not like every fucking 10 to 20 minutes of, like, here's an episode. It's just like me start streaming, get up, set up for whatever, but then I start streaming, I'm playing, then I'm done streaming, I'm done playing, I have to do all that extra shit. It uploads itself on the back end, so I don't have to do shit for that. I just have to put in, like, tags or whatever and do that stuff, I guess, like, later. And then I can interact with people in much the same way. So it's worked out a lot better. And that's why I stream on YouTube and not on Twitch. And I have a following here. And I also deleted my Twitch account. So those are multiple reasons, but that's the main reason. I think that's actually all the failed series. Yeah, looks like it. I keep thinking there's more. There's probably other stuff I forgot about that I deleted and whatever, but like, I just needed to do a quick addition to this, because I awkwardly forgot. Sorry, I awkwardly edited, or had to edit the other part. Because it got really loud right at the end of that clip. So hopefully this flows okay. But I also forgot a couple things, so I wanted to throw this in quick because I totally forgot about this until I looked at a thing I wrote like months ago. Where I was like, these are like failed series I did, and there's a couple other things I didn't mention. One I don't feel bad for not remembering is just Kevin plus Kent, which is just like it was going to be an animated show, which was like pretty much just me making pictures of like stick people in MS Paint, and then making them animated in Windows Movie Maker, and I was recording the audio or whatever with my camera of like the voices. I'm not a good voice actor or a good actor in general, so like they just sounded the same. It was kind of awkwardly paced and strange, and I guess it could have been something that was something, but I didn't have it colored in or anything. I just made like a pilot, and then I threw that out there, and I don't think anybody really cared anyway. So the fact that it's gone is probably fine. I don't think it matters. The other one I feel kind of bad that I forgot about is is Lampside Movie Talks, which is just like I did a thing that a lot of people do. The thing a lot of people are like, okay, well, I'm already doing this other stuff, right? Like I'm talking about video games, and this is like, I guess I just watched the Super Mario Brothers movie. And so I was kind of like, well, that's kind of tied into that, and I can talk about movies then too. There's a few movies I'd like to say things about, and so I kind of had some thoughts to get out there, and then it kind of got outside of the realm of like video game based movies, and then pretty much when I started to try and talk about a couple other movies, it really started to show that number one, I don't know jack shit about movies, and number two, reviewing movies is entirely different than reviewing video games. It's just you don't want to. You don't want to believe it, but it is. And that's why a lot of times it doesn't work for video game reviewers, and people who are known for video game stuff start being like, I'm going to talk about like movies and comics and other stuff, and it's like, it's not the same. You have to have that area of expertise, sort of. So I don't really know what makes a good movie. Like, I know what makes a good game. I know what makes a bad game. I know what I like and I don't like in games. But for movies, I'm so easy to please in movies. What is it? What does it even really like matter? You know, what does it matter? Until well, and I don't know how to make movies or any idea of like what they would change most of the time to be like, we'll make this better. Very rarely do I know or have some idea of that stuff. So it was kind of like, I think maybe like the Star Wars movies is the closest one, or like the Star Wars prequels. I had some idea of what to do, but anybody can make ideas to improve that one. Those are pretty easy targets. So like I pretty much gave up on it because I quickly found out I'm not a film critic. I'm bad at it, and I don't even think that series was even up for like a month before I had to delete it. But sorry that I awkwardly tacked this on in the middle. Now it seems weird. Oh yeah, and I did it next to a lamp for the first episode. That's why it was called Lampside Movie Talks. And then I tried to just do it next to a lamp every time. It was going to be the slight hook to it. So I did it next to a lamp out of context. Alright, so I just looked this stuff up here. Give us a little update on this. So, the start dates of stuff. I was going to go through that. Let's see if I didn't really order these in actual order. Okay, the earliest music thing I still have on here, I did had some albums or whatever, but like the very first video that's still up here is my earliest video, which I guess I didn't realize I did this early, and I must have made this video maybe even before I necessarily even did YouTube, or like right when I got it. But it's the Memories official music video, the one I was talking about, where I made two versions of it. The other version isn't on there anymore, but this one still is, where I could show people. That's up there. and that was up there February 21st of 2010, which is, yeah, just a few days later. So that's, I didn't realize it was that soon after. I thought I had it for a while and then started uploading stuff, but apparently I'm wrong on that too. Wow. Maybe I just looked on YouTube for a while before making an account. Maybe that's why I think that. Then it's a bit of a drought, mostly just music stuff until 2013. April 10th of 2013 sees the first episode of What's the Deal with Sam, about golf. So that's, yeah, wow. That's when that started. And then on May 29th of 2013, my first ASMR video, which is not my introduction, like, about me thing, which I did do shortly after. But this one is storm sounds, because it was just, I was kind of like, I'd seen other ASMR stuff, and I was like, oh shit, like, it's like storming out, and so I recorded the, like had the one door open, and the outside door was, like, still, like, shut, or whatever, so you hear the rain kind of, like, hitting, like, the door and, like, the deck and the window there, and then you could hear, like, the thunder and stuff, and I recorded that, and that was cool. People liked that. People enjoyed that. Probably less so than the clickety-clack of my fan, but it's fine. I don't want the light, and who gives a fuck about anything, really? I know I don't. Then, real person reviews, because I think I started doing the other reviews, probably somewhere in there, when they got deleted. Like I said, other stuff got deleted, but the first real person reviews episode, interestingly, was in October 17th of 2014, and that was on Conker's Bad Fur Day. Interestingly, I believe I must have played it. I saw, like, I had an ASMR review of it in July of that year while I was scrolling through. So I'd done that. I did a couple of games I did ASMR, like, reviews on before, just to try that out as opposed to my other reviews, since people might actually see it. So that's interesting to see that it was that far before that I decided to just go back. And I don't know if I replayed it or if it was I just was talking about it so much I decided to then do it. I don't actually remember now, because I don't remember doing the ASMR thing about it either. So that's interesting. I should probably rewatch that or something. Because going back through this, actually looking at a lot of these in general too, it's like, I guess, but 2013 and 2014, I was hot those years. I had a lot of views. I was putting out a lot of videos. So I think it was just the luck of the draw of, like, I'm doing stuff that people have been searching for. So they're finding these keywords and finding me. I'm getting views. I'm keep putting stuff out so people are subscribing and seeing stuff. And I had a lot of people on there. And then I think it kind of petered out once I started having worse, worse of a time with it. Worse of a time. And then, yeah, I just had, like, long droughts of nothing, and then block uploads and shit didn't necessarily help. Moving on, the other thing, the last thing, that's really the only thing I've added since then, honestly, is streaming. And the very first one actually isn't up here. It was maybe done, I don't know if it was the same day or if it was the day before. I feel like it might have been the same day. It was actually Turbo Pug, just to test out the streaming and if it works and to see how it was functioning. So the first one I have up here now, because I think I got rid of that stream, I got Sonic the Hedgehog, which I first streamed on April 14th of 2018. So I'm always like kind of surprised too, especially like when I went back, I was like, I've only done a few streams, and I look at the playlist, and it's like, oh, I have a fuckload of streams. I have I think when I looked, and I was like, I don't have that many streams. It's like, oh shit, I have like 50 streams. So that's like a lot more than the few I thought I had. And they're long, so I don't know. Like, that one was a kind of a marathon of, like, I was playing it and people showed up, right? And so I was like, okay, so it's like, I was playing that for like a few hours, and it's like I kept dying. It's like, I don't know, what do you want to see more of this, or you want to see something else? And I like, do Sonic 2. It's like, okay, and then it's Sonic 2, and then I was like, I kept dying on that. I was like, yeah, do you guys want to see more of this, or something else? And they're like, do Sonic 3, and it's like, okay. And then so it was basically like how many hours straight of like me just switching the games or whatever, and then doing that, and then people watching that. And that was really fun. And then I rarely had that many people come in again to watch, so that's been a shame. So people really liked watching Sonic. I don't know if it was just the timing or what, but that was cool. Where are we now? Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. Let's, so the community. I'm just gonna sit here because this is comfy and I don't want to find 7 more positions. So, like, this is kind of a thing I was going through here where it's like the community on YouTube is kind of, it depends. The ASMR community has been very good to me. And I mean, like, they've been really nice, and, like, I don't know, like, getting into ASMR was cool because it was, like, just really, like, oh, yeah, like, just, I wanted to do it, and I felt like a lot of the people that were doing it at that time, because there wasn't a ton, I felt like a lot of them were kind of, like, you know, I never know, like, the right way to put it, so I usually just put it in this really poorly phrased way of, like, broken people. But they're most people with, like, you know, like, seem like they have, like, maybe social anxiety, maybe, or they're just lonely, or, you know, has some kind of issues they're dealing with. And so, like, this is kind of a way to connect with other people, and, you know, like, to kind of, like, connect with people a bit, and be kind of friendly, and feel like you're not as lonely, and also, like, help them, maybe with that same feeling, maybe with, like, just helping them with their stress levels, helping them sleep. And so it was really nice to kind of combine these things into one. But I don't know. It's just I like that, and I think the ASMR community has changed kind of since then because it's become a thing you can make a lot of money on. There's a lot more people who are not that way, who I don't find as appealing of personalities to be listening to and following and whatever. And I don't know. And it's definitely evolved, especially as people have made it their business. It's changed. So I just kind of got lucky when I got in on the ground floor of that, where like it was still kind of shooting up, and then I think people were just looking for ASMR videos, and they're like, well, I've seen all these other ones, so let's just look at whatever is a recent ASMR video, and I was putting stuff out, and there weren't a lot of other people doing that, so that I think that's how I kind of got away with it, doing that, and just a kind of quick mention of some of these other things, like the music thing. I've just been playing music for so long and being part of like music stuff, so it's weird that it's like I can kind of go without playing music a lot, but also like it's still kind of a big part of things that I do, so it's kind of interesting to me. And the video game review stuff, after you know doing well and not doing well, and finding my own style with that. I think I'm sorry I'm kind of brushing through these a little bit faster. I feel like I've talked about these before, but essentially like with real person reviews, it's like, well, I have me to offer. Nobody else is going to be me, so I'll just do real person reviews, and I'm just a dude talking to you about video games, more laid back. I'm just recording my screen because I don't have capture equipment, so you can just see. I'm not stealing anybody's footage; it's clearly mine. I don't know. I like some of that stuff. You know, I like doing that. And I enjoyed that it sounded natural, and that I was getting all the stuff out I needed to get out, and it wasn't, you know, every video was not an hour long, so it was nice, really nice way of doing it. Especially since I started writing the reviews, that helped a lot. Where I started writing them first, and then I would have the thoughts kind of pre-organized because I wrote it already, and then I would just talk, and I'd kind of know the things I want to hit without having to have a script. Because I remember watching somebody who did do that, where they were writing stuff, and I found them. I think it might have been through like when I started putting stuff up on WordPress or whatever, and then it was like, oh hey, for Hub World HQ, and it was like, oh hey, like I'll look at this video. They're doing a video review too. Okay, because I'd seen their written stuff, and it sounded super familiar. And then I looked, like they were like reading verbatim like their fucking like written review, and I was like, this is exactly the reason I don't do this, because the way this sounds is terrible to me. I hate that. So, even though I think I write pretty conversationally, I think it's still trying to say that, like, specifically those words is kind of tough. Yeah, and then streaming was failed Let's Plays. I kind of mentioned that already. It kind of came together as, like, it's a good compromise of, like, a Let's Play, but also that live interaction can happen, and then it's a lot less work for me to do, and it works out well, because then, for something that's not performing super well, it doesn't have to, necessarily. And what's the deal with Sam? We had that idea where basically it was basically like a combination of, like, you know, the observational comedy of like mundane things or whatever from Sam Lilly Comedy Hour, mixed along with I guess some of like the You Know What's Bullshit from Cinemassacre, watching some of those, and then also just my own personal observations on things. So it wasn't really like, yeah, I don't know. It's not like a super original idea, but, you know, I thought it was original enough. But like the community for a lot of that stuff, like What's the Deal with Sam seems to get the most actual interaction. I've noticed. Like the ASMR, there's a lot of positive stuff that goes there. A lot of people saying things. There's some negative stuff there too, but mostly they've been they're a pretty nice and supportive community in general. Um, of course, now it kind of depends on if they know about you or not. I don't really see much anymore because it's such a big community now that I'm a nobody. That's who I am. I don't know if anybody remembers me. Like I remember the one time I sent my ASMR video, like I think it was the homage to water video. That's back when they still had video replies, and so I kind of sent that to, or video responses or whatever, and I sent that to the one Lillium, and I maybe sent it to a couple other people too, but I sent it to her, and she actually like watched it and like responded, and I thought that was like that, like my jaw dropped when I saw it. It's like, how the fuck, like you're super, like have so many like subs and whatever, and like I figured you'd never see it, but like she did. Like that was still a really cool thing that I still remember. And I don't know. There's some, I don't know. There's some people that don't do it anymore, that they kind of faded off. I guess they didn't like the attention they got, or they got sick of it or something, and they're not on YouTube anymore, and that sucks. But like yeah, What's the Deal with Sam gets the most interaction. A lot of people there are kind of like, they like to poke at me because I'm the angry attitude thing. I guess they want to poke at that. A lot of the music people are also pretty rough critics of it, but I don't get that many people commenting on it. A lot of times, yeah, they're like, this sucks, this shit's really stupid, you suck at it, or whatever. The stuff on What's the Deal with Sam is more like, you're fat, you're ugly, kill yourself. It's more like those. They're pretty nebulous. But then there's people who are like, that's kind of funny, or like they don't agree with me or whatever. So there's some conversations that happen too. So like, essentially, I enjoyed doing the music a lot for me. The real person review stuff, like the video game reviews, I don't really get much interaction there at all, very rarely, and when I do, it's usually like, nice video. Like, there's not much there either. But at least it's not like super vicious or anything. But I really enjoy doing those a ton, so like, obviously I'm going to keep doing those. Like, both of those, like, while I underperform for a lot of things, I enjoy doing them. ASMR gets the most people, and I feel bad that, like, it's gets the most, like, views and everything, and that's why most people subscribed. And I don't like do enough of them, and I should do more. But I have ideas, but I'm always like, I have other things I want to do too, and so I feel like I'm always like, I'll get to it and I lose motivation, and I just need to do more ASMR videos in general. So that's why I try to incorporate it in multiple different ways. That's why I've done ASMR Let's Plays and other things too, and I'm considering doing maybe an ASMR live stream. We'll see. So What's the Deal with Sam is the one where it's like basically these two things, where it's like, What's the Deal with Sam's like, I can only do it when I get an idea for it. But people seem to enjoy like watching through those. They're shorter and easier to digest. Whereas ASMR videos, like, they're not really there to listen to it necessarily. Like, they're not really there to get something out of it so much. It's like they just want to like relax and or fall asleep or whatever. And I actually had somebody who was like, that one of like my favorite comments on there was like, someone once said that I helped them with their insomnia, and I was like, holy shit, like that's fucking awesome. Like that felt like so good to know that I could help somebody like that with just doing ASMR videos. I don't know, like that. Also, there was the fun troll comment on one of the things, not an ASMR video. I think it was a What's the Deal with Sam video. But the person's comment was like something along the lines of, "You've inspired me to kill myself," and my response was along the lines of, "Don't let anyone stand in the way of your dreams." And so that was a fun interaction. I'm small enough where I can interact with people in my comments. Even if they're trolls, I can interact with them if I want to. And usually you don't want to. Like, when they're saying stuff that doesn't mean anything, I don't know. Like, that's a thing you kind of have to learn on YouTube, right? Like, I mean, like, I like the idea that someone can comment and I can get back to them, right? Because I'm not too big to be like, I can't read all my comments or reply on all my comments. I'm small enough where I can do that, especially with my lack of interaction. I could be having a lot more interaction that would make it harder, but I don't have, for as many subs as I have, it's not like all of them are commenting or anything, so it's pretty easy to keep on top of that. But I even had somebody come to one of my streams and was like, make me a moderator out of nowhere, and just like, first time I'd ever fucking seen them, and there's nobody else in the room but them. I was like, no, I'm not gonna make you a mod. There's no I can moderate the no one but you in here right now, just fine. you kind of learn that thing of like, whose opinion matters to you. You can't listen to a bunch of people who are just going to say like, you're good, you're bad, and saying things that don't really mean anything, or people that clearly don't care about your content or what you're doing. They're just kind of there to say what they want to say, to get a reaction, to get attention, do whatever. You just kind of sift through that, and you kind of grow a thicker skin to that. Because if you can't, then don't put stuff out on the internet. You're not gonna have a good time. Even like, and I did pretty good considering, I wasn't always in the best mental states during these things, and I did fine. Also, fun fact: I have one video up where I'm drunk. Episode whatever of What's to Do with Sam. I think if you type in, it's called it's not, I don't know the number, but it's fuck is the subject after the number. So I think if you just go into my channel and go to the search bar and just type the word drunk, I think it might pop up there. So that's how I found it last time I looked. It's just me saying fuck a lot of times. Only video I think you'll see of me being drunk since I stopped drinking. And yeah, like there's actually a lot of stuff I've changed. I've noticed about this, right? Like a lot of stuff I stopped doing. So for example, like I think like a lot of it's just in what I've like been saying. Some of my opinions on things have changed too. Obviously, I used to be really hardcore, like no, emulators are dumb. Fuck that. Play on the original thing, right? I used to be one of those guys. And I'm still pretty anti-piracy, right? Like I still am like, you shouldn't like go on and like get like a free whatever, like download somebody like a thing of a game, right? You shouldn't just go download ROMs and shit. That's illegal. And you should support the system with like, oh yeah, well, if I'm actually going to buy these games, like I should buy the games, what is available, and then like they'll show they want it, that kind of thing. I kind of feel that way. I've also scaled back a lot, and I'm not like as like in your face when somebody else says they do that. I'm like, okay, it's like, well, I'm not. It's usually only if they like tell me that I can do that. And it's like, yeah, well, I don't want to do that, and this is why I don't want to do it. I used to really push, be like, you shouldn't be doing this, but like, I've really kind of stopped because like it's not going to solve anything. It's not going to stop them. They're not going to get in trouble. Nobody's really getting hurt, so it's fine. I just don't really believe in like that doing it that way, so I don't. And yeah, I kind of understand that, like, even if there's official shit, like the Wii eShop, or whatever, the Nintendo eShops and virtual console things, the PSN, there's a whole lot of things, like these collections. There's a lot of things just official emulators now. They're just emulating that shit, but they're official, like, people who have the rights to do that, and it's like, okay, well, then those are fine. So I don't really have a problem so much with emulators. I'm a purist when it comes to Nintendo 64, because I have one, so I'll still play that, but I'd rather just get that one on there. But for a lot of stuff, it's like, it doesn't really matter that much, because the controller is pretty similar for a lot of other things, so, as long as it's, like, official like that, I guess I would trust it to work properly and to not be stealing it and whatever, and so I've mellowed out a lot on that. I don't really use words like, every once in a while I slip, I think, with the word retard or retarded. I might say that sometimes, and I feel weird when I do, because I've kind of worked that out, because I know that some people get pretty offended by that. Not to say other things to say aren't offensive, but I feel like that's like kind of a mean one. That's like, if you were retarded, it might feel weird to hear that. I stopped using, this was probably even pretty much before this too, but for a long time I've stopped using gay as like that's dumb, or that's like bad, or whatever, like you do when you're in high school, middle school, and whatever. Though I always think of the quote from The Office where like Michael Scott is like, when I was growing up, gay meant lame. I don't know, I love that quote, because it's like, yeah, there's a lot of people who don't use it in a way that's really malicious. They're just saying that because of how it was used. But if you're aware of it, you might as well just not use it that way if you can, and I don't know, and use words that are more appropriate to what you're actually trying to say, rather than things that have been skewed that way because of connotations. I don't know. I really don't know. Also, big one is rape. I think I've used that before. I think there's a few instances maybe of me saying that. And yeah, due to hearing so much about that kind of thing and having that sort of stuff happen to people that are close to you, you kind of work it out of your vernacular, because you don't want to bring it up to them and be like a triggering thing and make them think of shit, and it's a rough one. So why not say all the words in this video, and that's a good idea to say all of these and get everybody all worked up. But no, it's a thing I've tried not to say anymore, really, and it worked out most of the time. Even just to, you would use it in an exaggeratory sense of oh, somebody's beating me in this game really bad, they're raping me, and maybe that's the most classy way to use that. If there is a classy way to use the word, I don't know. But I guess I don't know. I came from oh yeah, the process. I was gonna say that. So I use Windows Movie Maker, and I've always used it. I've had older versions and newer versions, and I kind of settled on having an old and newer version. I have the 6.0, Windows Movie Maker 6.0, because 2.6 is what I had before, I think, or maybe it was 3.0 for a bit, something like that. And then one of the updates for Windows made that stop working properly, so I got 6.0, because that still worked. And then that was on Windows 7 that I was doing that on. And then it was okay, well, I use Windows Movie Maker or whatever to do that. I have Windows Live Movie Maker, which was the current one at that time when I started doing this shit. I was using that, and that would do things in higher quality, but it also would and make it so it was widescreen or whatever, 16:9 instead of 4:3. But then it was okay, well, I can only it's kind of laggy and choppy for some things, and it didn't have all the same bells and whistles, which was kind of annoying. So I kind of had to have both to do what I wanted to do. What I would usually do is, I've tried a couple different ways. So I've tried the way where I just record for a long time because I have a bunch of ideas, so I record a bunch of shit, and then I release whatever, right? I just release my I go I'm going to have an editing day. I'm going to go in, put all the stuff in my computer, I would edit a bunch of it all in one day, edit the shit out of it, then upload a bunch of that shit. It would just take a while. It would be my day would be doing that. And then, I did for a while do it where I bulked up on stuff, and I've done it a few times where it's okay, bulk up on it, then do it one thing every single day. In fact, there was even the thing I did with Zelda Month was a big thing too, where I kind of really was the big experiment where I did it reviewing all those Zelda games and doing other stuff in between about Zelda things, ASMR, What's the Day with Sam, some music stuff, all these little things, so that I had a Zelda thing out every single day, and I did that, and that whole month. And that was right after, that was in November, so that was right after I did my Halloween special, I think the second one, which took a long time. It was basically all of October was me busy with getting shots for that, getting music for that, getting that worked out, playing through Zelda games, getting those reviews ready, doing that shit. And so I finally had Zelda Month and that all done, kind of scrambled. And I was even scrabbling through November to get all the Zelda Month stuff finished at the end of it. I cut the corner of I didn't replay Ocarina of Time because I played it so many times. I'm yeah, this will be fine. And yeah, it was nuts. And so I had one thing out, and then I think I took a bit of a break after that. And having a video come out every single day did basically nothing for. I didn't get really get any increase in subs or views or anything. It was just kind of it was just hard. So what happens now is more often I just end up in kind of these ruts where I don't have any content for a long time, and then it's hard to come back into making more content. And then I make more content, and then it's fine. And then you have a few things, and I get it oh sweet, I'm motivated to do things, but then I get bigger ideas for doing things, and they take longer, and I get demotivated, and so it just kind of goes in spurts of hey, some stuff, and then nothing for a long time. And that's also why my subscriber base isn't growing. In fact, sometimes when I post too much, it kind of shrinks. You should probably post your same stuff all the time, right? You should have a posting schedule, which I don't have, and you should post kind of the same types of content, and have different channels if you're going to have, significantly different types of content, which I also don't do. This is why you should do what I say, not what I do. And so basically, I did at one point consider having different channels because it's really exciting, but there's that beginner's trap where you're oh yeah, let's make new channels, do new things, right? I can see myself grow again, go from nothing to as it slowly grows and stuff. People are gonna find me again, it'll be new and exciting. That'll be cool. So I'll make a channel that has an ASMR channel, and I'll make a video game review channel, and I'll make a music channel, and What's to Do with Sam channel, and I'll just keep this main channel as my hub one that has all the stuff on it still too. And the truth is, it's really hard to manage multiple channels, and then you have the added pressures of okay, well now I have to upload. I haven't uploaded on this channel for how long, and haven't done on this one for how long. Where it's if I do any of this number of the different kinds of content that I do on my main channel, that buys me some extra time because now the last upload is from whatever I've done, and then I have more time to get the next ones out. Versus I haven't done an ASMR video in a while. That channel seem like it's super fucking dead most of the time because I don't get them out that often. But I'm doing other stuff. It's not like I'm not doing stuff, but nobody would know that. And so people just kind of don't subscribe necessarily or unsubscribe because they're seeing too much of a type of content they didn't really subscribe for or don't really want to see. And like I get it, and it's a shame. But like I kind of work with what I got. And again, that's kind of why I stream here, is because I have a bit of a following, have people here. If I go to Twitch, I've got no one. I've got a lot of competition. And while I'm more likely to have people come in and talk to me during it, is anybody going to go over to my YouTube just because I'm on Twitch? Don't want to do then take the work of like taking the VODs and like uploading those onto YouTube later. Is that even going to be worth bothering to do then? I don't know. I don't know how that works. Do I get Twitch back just to do that at this point? I don't know. But I actually had a lot of upgrade of a lot of stuff. Like, you know, I did... I'm sorry, I don't know. I didn't really think of what my screen looked like when we stopped here, so it was just on awkwardly like, hey, this is the videos I was scrolling through. But like, yeah, I don't know, just like, sorry, what was I saying? Kind of lost my train of thought there. I was on a roll, and I kind of got sidetracked. Where the fuck are we in this anyway? We're talking about community and whatever bullshit and uploading things. Oh yeah, upgrade to tech. That's what I was going to get into. So tech and things I was going to do with the tech. I don't know. So basically, like most of the upgrades of the tech have been in like whatever 2019. Yeah, it must have been. Yeah, just last like not even a year ago. I got this new camera, I got this new laptop, and I've already talked about those and other stuff. This camera's been pretty good. It's another Sony Handycam, really nice. My old one worked for how long? Still works. Despite me dropping it a few times, it still works. It's really good, and that's why I was like, well, I want one that's going to look nicer, and kind of working around the quirks. This one still works pretty well, actually. I'm liking it. It takes a lot more space with these higher quality video files and stuff, so I'm kind of dealing with that and editing. But I'm still editing with Windows Movie Maker. I tried getting a couple of different pieces of software for that, and unfortunately the free ones I've tried for that have been kind of laggy and not worked very well, so I got rid of them. I got Audacity for editing audio, which is nice, and I've used that for a few things, mostly just the real person reviews things so far. And I haven't really touched it with ASMR because I kind of like the more natural sound for ASMR, but we'll see what I feel like doing for that. I'm guessing I'm not going to do it for this because I'm not even using my microphone. You can see it back there. It's just here. And nice blue Yeti microphone. Nice. I like it. It sounds good. Works much better than having like built-in microphone or like whatever. I got a capture card now. And some nicer headphones. The capture card is good for streaming stuff, so I can stream console games and get gameplay footage and make stuff look nicer with my reviews finally. You know, I kind of could because I got OBS for streaming and I could record some of that stuff. So stuff that I can record with that. I'm now just like whenever I play a handheld game, that's I still probably have to record the screen, but that even looks nicer with this. I found the trick of if you open the little tabs or whatever on the bottoms of like the feet on my tripod. I'm using the old tripod, but the new tripod I got with it showed me this. Just because my old tripod is sturdier and it's got the same like screws and stuff for things. So this camera goes on my old tripod too. It has a little light on it that I'm not using. But if I turn the light on, turn the light, I can do this. Maybe I'll leave it on. Maybe I'll leave it on. Maybe I'll leave it on. And it's like, in Windows Movie Maker, I found a couple of things. In 6.0, I found out that you can go in and actually change it so it saves in 16.9, which would have been nice to know 10 years ago. And then I also found out that in Windows Movie Maker 2012, in that one, which I guess I didn't have that. Whatever, Live Movie Maker wasn't quite out yet, but it would have been good to know for at least, 8 years or whatever for having that you could go in and actually add multiple effects in there. I didn't know that was a thing you could do. That would have been really goddamn handy to know, so I wouldn't have to do the little thing where I would split the clip at some point and then have it fade in and a fade out as a singular effect. I didn't realize you could add in multiple, but it's like you have to go into the menu and hit like an arrow, like an extra arrow thing to find this thing to like be like multiple effects and then click that and then go in. It's just a little more complicated to do, and I don't know. I'm glad I know these things now at least. Yeah, it's like this, and like just upgrading all of my equipment has been good. I've got a Switch now, I guess you want to count that. I've got the Eon Gaming's Super 64 which is like an upscaler adapter thing. So it converts upscaler and converter. So you plug in an HDMI cable into that, and that just plugs in the back of your 64. And it pulls from the S video. It looks nice, has a good smoothing thing. It looks really cool. Good for streaming, good for recording. And it's just nice for playing it, especially on like a more 16:9 display, HD kind of TV. I got a new TV because my old one broke, so now I've got like this nice, 42-inch 4K TV. It's a smart TV, but I haven't enabled any of the smart features yet. And then I've also got an Xbox One S, which I haven't played any games on it yet. I have Rare Replay, and I haven't played it yet, any of that. But like I've got that, and so that's basically for playing stuff in 4K. Since my other thing had a DVD player built into it, this is like, well, I want a player. I want one that could do like 4K and stuff and Blu-ray. And so this was basically around the same price. It was like $200 or something. It was just around the price of like some of the decent players I was finding anyways. Plus it plays games. So yeah, it doesn't do games in 4K, but like I'll take that cut. Like they'll probably still look nice anyways. I'm not that worried, and it's mostly for being a player. And what a great bonus feature of your player to have it also play, the Xbox One games and whatever. Like that's since I haven't really had an Xbox system before. It'll be really cool to be able to play some of that stuff on there, and I'm excited. I mostly got Rare Replay so I can play Nuts and Bolts, which is, will that be good or will that be bad? I assume bad, but I'd love to know. And future plans? Yeah, let's do that. Future plans. We're just rolling through the rest of this because I'm already here. Oh, this TV is a little TV I used in my dorms. And in my dorm room, and then I was temporarily using this while the other TV was busted, and I was looking for a new TV. Fun fact: I got a stand because they all come with these stupid fucking legs, and so like I was like, okay, well it's not gonna fit in the spot I'm gonna put it if it has those legs. But if I could have a central stand, so I got a universal stand that goes into the wall mount thing, and I got that. And I put it all together. It took me for fucking ever, and I got it in the TV, and I tried to do it in the TV. It had a thing that like basically was pushing on it. It didn't quite fit it because this part was like not spaced correctly, and so I had to like fucking take all that goddamn shit apart and order another one and wait, and then get that in and plug that in, and then get that shit set up and set that shit onto the fucking, like, put that over and do it again and get that stand. Hope that works. That stand works. Now it's up, but god damn it. Now this one I just put over here, they're both Samsung TVs, so actually the remotes will work for both, which is annoying, so I kind of have to, I'm going to probably have to use the buttons on this instead of using the remote to do things on it, or make sure that one's off when I do this. But I think it'll be good to have this here for, like, streaming. Then I can just, plug a thing in here, have my computer here, and then just be streaming. It'll be easier for me to do if I can plug it in over here rather than move my entire laptop over to the other thing and stuff. And I'm going to shut this light off now because it's strobing on me. Downside of that light is that once the batteries start getting low, it just like flashes like a motherfucker. That's mostly I'm just looking around to see if there's anything I'm really missing to talk about for tech stuff. I got maybe a little crazy with it. I got a nice little stand for putting my phone in for when I'm streaming. I didn't take any of these props out, but I have it. I have them. Stuff's around. Take my word for it. I still have my old laptop here too. That has a Windows 7 on it and shit. And I keep trying to keep it updated and have it for like a backup and to do something on. But for future plans, right now the plan is like, I got a bunch of ideas for ASMR videos that I haven't done. I thought of typing on that thing. And like, no, I can't think of any, so maybe I don't have that many. I thought of doing an ASMR live stream and see if, like, either just a standard ASMR live stream and see if you guys would be like, hey, do this stuff. I don't know, like, that could be cool, who knows. Or, like, maybe just do, like, an ASMR Let's Play live stream kind of thing. Like, playing something, it might be easier to do, too. I don't know, we'll see with time what happens. I've got some fuzzy posters to color for an ASMR thing. I've got these cool, like, these books I'm using as part of the stand for this TV right now to prop it up a bit. Maybe do an ASMR thing of, like, paging through those and give me an excuse to make content while I'm doing those, so it feels like I'm multitasking when I'm really not. I don't know, and I got some other, like, lights I'm going to have set up right now either. Basically, I didn't set up most of my stuff, not using a lot of my other equipment, because I wanted this to be more of, like, a quick, personal thing. Quick, it's probably going to be always like an hour-long video or some shit. I'm rambling like crazy. But again, it's 10 years. I feel like I've earned some of that. But yeah, like future stuff. I've got the Game Review Portable review I'm planning, and you'll see if I do it or not. Is planned to come out soon. And if I miss the date, then I'm gonna have to make a different date for it, either in like another year or later or whatever. We'll see. But I'm trying really hard. Or if I bother with the formality of that, I might just finish it when it's finished. But we'll see. And actually, this video, yeah, the idea is it's gonna come out the day after this video. So if it's not out tomorrow, you'll know. If it's not the next video in my video list, you'll know. Holy shit. Yeah, and this music, I do have some music stuff I want to finish up and put into like an album for stuff that I just had thrown out there that I kind of stopped. So I want to do some more music and make another new album, maybe put that together into its own album. We'll see what goes on with that. And I want to, I don't know, just keep doing reviews of stuff. I've got so many games to play that I want to play and review and shit. So there's a lot of things to do. I have ideas. I just have less time to do them, and I'm also, because the files are larger with this, and like it takes longer to edit videos and get them up there and with space and everything, so I'm a little slower at it now that I have larger videos, files, and more things to tinker with Audacity and editing stuff, and now that I have a job, so I also am doing that also, which right now is only part-time, so it's still not like, whoa, how am I ever gonna, but like, I'm still, I have to manage my time. That's why I don't really watch a whole lot of TV or read things a lot, because I'm spending all my time making videos and playing games, which is kind of in line with making videos if I'm going to review them or whatever. I don't know, man. What the fuck is going to do next? Oh, yeah. Okay, and since I'm already here, that's kind of also why I didn't want to move. Can I do from here, maybe? Oh, not there. Analytics, I'm in the old thing. I should maybe go to the new thing. Okay, I'll go to new analytics thing, because YouTube wants me to. Okay, let me go to, okay, overview, is this what I want? Do I have a way to look at this lifetime stats? Oh, lifetime. Okay. Okay. Cool, they already have a little top 10 thing here. Oh, that's fucking perfect. Is it in terms of views? Average view duration. Can I change what it's sorted by? Or is it by views? Oh, it is by views, isn't it? Oh, lovely. Okay. So number 10, I thought this would be fun to do. So number 10 is Zelda games on Steam with 2,417 views. Because it was during the summer sale that year, 2015, November 3rd, 2015. So no, it wasn't. I thought that was during the summer sale. Maybe that was during the holiday sale. Like the winter sale, maybe. But I was like, hey, here's some games. And I was like, these games are kind of like Zelda. And so I was like, It'll Do and Shipwreck, and there's probably a couple others I was thinking of I found on there. But like, I think the clickbaity title got them. Then number 9 is ASMR Controller Sounds, Nintendo 64, 2,748. That's just me playing. I don't remember if I was actually playing a game or not with that, but it was like the shot of me holding the controller. It was an okay shot. Just in my dorm doing that, and I love Nintendo 64, and I thought that would make some interesting sounds, and usually it probably sounds better if it's natural, so I think I played something, but I don't remember. Number 8 is ASMR Empty Room Sounds, Relaxation and Sleep, with 3,170 views. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's cool. That was just me. I think I just recorded it. I just hit record when my camera was in a room, and then I just left, and just whatever it actually picked up was what we got. That was what I did. I don't remember if that was even raining in that room or not, or anything, or in this one, or what. And I was like, that's it. Like, I just did that, and that got, with me doing like nothing in it, performed that well. So great. Next up is number 7. ASMR Roleplay Video Game Store. Soft-spoken Nintendo 64. I'll open the tab to get the full title. How can I go to the video? Okay. Soft-spoken Nintendo 64 games. Okay, I just wanted to, okay. Okay. With 3,740 views. That was the hot thing with ASMR. It's like, I do this role plays. So I decided to try to do the role play. And I'm really awkward with it. So I'm not very good at acting, like I said. But people liked it enough to get up in the top 10 of views for all time. Number 6 is What's the Deal with Sam? Episode 82, Motorcycles. I'm pretty sure this one was posted, especially because there's like the negative comments and shit I saw, and this the weird like super reaction to it. I'm pretty sure this got posted somewhere. I think someone told me it was posted somewhere, and I don't know where, and I was never told where it was. I never like really found out where it was posted and what the context was. I'm assuming they were making fun of me in some way, but got 4,904 views, so I still win because I like those numbers, even though I'm not monetized or anything. So it doesn't really do me a lot of good, except for my, self-esteem. So I'll take it, because that can use all the help it can get. Number 5, ASMR Game Boy Advance Game Collection, Whisper. With 6,224 views. It was just me going through my collections. It was an easy thing to do because I had a bunch of games, and this was actually before. These are kind of neat because they're before I think I sold a bunch of games, so that's when I still had a lot. I was just kind of like, hey, look what I have, and again, early days of ASMR, people were like, oh, cool. So, number 4, Phantom Hourglass, closing the DS on the Wii U version. On Wii U version. 6,513 views. It's cool, man. I like that got up there because I just threw it up there as like a throwaway thing. The reason that's up there, the reason I made this is because I was playing the game, and there's a point where it's like, oh, what if we touch these like two things together or whatever, like as the hint, and it's like, okay, they want me to close the DS to make the two symbols touch each other. I'm playing on Wii U. I can't fold my Wii U gamepad. Putting the gamepad up to the TV screen isn't going to work. What am I supposed to do? How do I get this to work? And I looked online, and there was nothing. The closest thing, I think I eventually found it in like some article that was about it, and it was in the comment section on that article someone said this. So I made a quick video of me like, hey, this is how you do it. You got to hit the home button because this would normally suspend your game. So like hit the home button, and then hit it again and come back into the game, and then like it'll be done. And I keep getting comments every now and then on this, people saying like, "Thank you, I needed the help with this, whatever." It was great. So it feels really good again to be helpful, and so I like having it up there. And it's a nice resource to have for people who have that issue, and it just feels cool that it continuing to be like, "Oh yeah, it's cool." I should probably finish that game someday, shouldn't I? I started that a long time ago, and I never finished it, and now I kind of want to restart it to do it again, but I don't know if I have the ability to do it because I'm bad with the stylus. Number 3. ASMR Ticking Clock with 6,765 views. Again, this is me filming a clock. That's not even me doing anything. My favorite ASMR videos is when I'm not even fucking there. Number 2. ASMR Whispering Nintendo 64 Game Collection, Relaxation and Sleep. 11,378 views. Holy shit. That is just a lot of views. That is many views. And I think this is also because I have a little section on my page too where it's like popular videos. And I know popular ones get circled around more, cycled around. They get shown more. Words. Who needs them? me, because I'm bad with them. So maybe I shouldn't have them. I don't have the responsibility to have enough words to use them properly. Yeah, it was just me again looking at my N64 games, and like it was this thing, people liked it, and then it really caught on because I don't know why that one more than the other collection ones. Maybe it was the first one I did. It may have had something to do with that, but I don't remember. And then at number 1, ASMR eating candy, relaxation and sleep, 11,914 views. There's a pretty big spike you've noticed here, from 2, 3, 4, 6, 11. Yeah. So that's insane. Again, a lot of these like 2013s, a lot of them are from there. But like, yeah, this one is just me eating candy. I just thought it would like be a good eating thing, and the sounds, whatever, for that, and people liked it. And then because it got seen more. So that's cool. I'm gonna see if I can arrange this from a different. Can I just change how it's filtered? Engagement, maybe? Engagement. It's watch time. I don't know if that's that interesting. A lot of the same shit, mostly. Not all, though. Top videos by end screen. Oh, by end screen element clicks. Well, they all have 0, so that doesn't. I don't have any end slate things. Top playlists. The ASMR is the best playlist. You know, this is a thing. This is cool. And then real person reviews, and then like another ASMR playlist. I kind of go down after that. Top cards. No. Maybe I don't want this. What do I want? Reach, maybe? No. I don't understand what impressions are. Traffic source, playlist, traffic source, external. Got a lot of it from Google searches. That's cool. Hey guys, this is all look at my fucking analytics with me. YouTube search. Oh. So I'm getting a lot of stuff from people just looking for ASMR. What is this proportion of your traffic from YouTube search? Is 33%. So the biggest things, we've got ASMR sleep is one we're finding me on. And then ASMR game collection, ASMR eating candy, Sonic porn, and ASMR. Because I had one video where I had it about Sonic porn, and I guess a lot of people are finding it through that. That's okay. Maybe that's why I had so many people watch my Sonic stream. Holy shit. Traffic source. Oh, some people coming from suggested videos. This is actually... I don't know what the slap.wmv is. Unless that's like an old... Like that was a file name of something. But I don't think it was. ASMR Super Nintendo game collection. Whispering is not me. And a modern clock ticking ASMR talking is also not me. So it's interesting that I'm actually... Oh, so actually only one of these is me. So that actually is good. That makes sense. So some of these are from other clocks ticking from that one, and then the slap and the Super Nintendo game collection. This other one is me. It's weird that one of my own is... That most of mine are from me for one of them, but that's okay. So where the fuck... Is it under audience then? Is that what I want? What does this say? We've got more watch time for people that aren't subbed. Top country is United States, then distant second is United Kingdom. Brazil, Canada, Finland. Mostly males watch my video according to this. Okay. Somebody apparently has watched it with English subtitles that's generated, I guess. Age ranges, okay. Apparently, I'm attracting people that are 18 to 24 years old, mostly. I don't know how much is that actually. That's honest ages, and also I don't know if that's, you know, um, what that means in terms of, like, is that really representative of my audience or representative of the people mostly watching YouTube in general. Then the next one is 25 to 34, and then 35 to 44, and that's kind of, the 65 plus and 13 to 17, tied for 1.5%, just neck and neck. They're trying. Well, god damn it. So, okay. I have to go to Classic Studio to see this, I think, because this isn't showing me what I want. Classic Studio Analytics, if it still works. Okay, let's see. Change it to lifetime. A lot of things. Let's do it by likes. I don't know if I can do it by dislikes. So the likes, the top 3 for likes are number 3 would be Phantom Hourglass, closing the DS. Then the Nintendo 64, that's at 69. ASMR Whispering Nintendo 64 games is at 89. And then the number 1 is the Eating Candy one with 126. And can I do it the opposite way then? Can I do it by dislikes? No, shit. Let's do it by comments then. Can we do that? By comments, number 3, really? These don't sound like correct numbers at all. What does this say? A little thing about it. Number of comments added on your video or channel. This count may include deleted comments as well as live chat. So maybe that's part of it. So number 3 is Sonic 3 and Knuckles live stream, which is, I guess that makes sense. There's a lot of talking in that. Most of these look like they're live streams. Okay, that's probably why. Then these numbers are fine. Number 2 is Roller Coaster Tycoon live stream. I should do another one of those. I only did like one. It was 508. And then number 1 is the Sonic the Hedgehog 2 live stream with 849. People were chatting away. Can I do my dislikes? Can I look at dislikes? I really just want to know how many people hate me. Yeah, here we go. Oh god, did the page freeze? Did the page freeze? I can't tell if the page is frozen or not. Okay, it definitely was frozen. Note about data in this report: number of likes and dislikes prior to May 5th, 2011 may not be exact. Dislikes and likes being error these days. This is only as of, I guess, these analytics are as of the 13th. This is the last time they collected this. So all these stats are, I'm getting them on the 15th. They're as of the 13th. So by the time you see this on the 19th, they might be slightly different. They're probably going to be about the same. Okay, and then for dislikes, let's do it. Top 3 for dislikes here, and this is just in sheer number alone, not the ratio, but they give you the bars, so that's cool. You see which ones have like one over here, it's just all dislikes. Something over here, it's just like more dislike. So number, I don't know why this is fun to look at these things. So number 3 for most dislikes, is ASMR Game Boy Advance Game Collection with 13 dislikes. But there are 26 likes, so, you know. Then, Forbidden Love is number 2, which is not a very good song, I'll admit. I don't know if it's 17 dislikes bad, but I think some that might have been posted somewhere also, or people just found it and didn't like it. I don't know. People were kind of harsh on me for that one. And, I mean, it's fair enough. It wasn't good, but number 1. was, unsurprisingly, What's the Deal with Sam, episode 82, on motorcycles, where, while there are 12 likes, there are a whopping 57 dislikes on that motherfucker. So, that's cool, dude. That's interesting. I like that. I don't know. That's cool, dude. Anyways, that's, I think, about it for me sitting in this position because my ace hurts. Is that all the stuff I wanted to cover there? Oh my fuck, I think it is. I'll see you guys at the last piece of whatever the fuck. Where's my button? Where's my button? Well, look who remembered the hat this time. It was me. Motherfucking me. So I think that's mostly it for the video. I think we're good. Probably way goddamn longer than I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be kind of quick and like, oh yeah, a cool little video thing. I also wanted it to be something cool, like maybe I'll do something really interesting and like actually do something awesome for this video. And then I also thought like, maybe it'll be actually like, you know, get some really good details on this. And I feel like I've fallen squarely in the middle of everything. It's too long. It's not that interesting, and it's not that, like, cool. So we're just left with another video that I might delete later. We'll see. I haven't done any channel cleanup here like I was going to at the end of the year, so maybe I'll do it soon, and we'll see if this stays. It might stay. I'll give it some time to breathe, but whatever. It's a thing. It's fun. It was interesting. And just like, you know, look at this. Like in 396 subscribers right now. I have, if we're going to include this video that's going to go up, I will have 1,740 videos. Will be the number of videos right now, which I remember I made a big deal about, you know, 100 subscribers and 200 and stuff. I think I made a big deal about the 100 marks of subscribers, the 100 marks of episodes for What's the Deal with Sam, the 1,000th video mark. I remember that, 100th ASMR video. I've done a lot of the stuff that's also been, you know, deleted and whatnot. I've celebrated these things. They're fun landmarks. So 10 years was just another fun one to do. Also, I've got 149,567 views. That is, wow. That is, you guys, my hat is off to you. So, like, that's all I really had to say and show and do. So hopefully that was kind of interesting or fun or whatever, and if not, I mean, you guys know where the unsubscribe button is, you know where the dislike button is, you know how to leave nasty comments in the comments section, so you do what you have to do, and I'll just kind of keep doing this because, like, it's nice that you guys have been here, like, you know, whatever, the generic thank you, it's I can't say it with it and have it sound sincere, and everybody says thank you on YouTube all the fucking time, you're like, guys, thanks, it really means a lot, like, I can't express it to you. But it's nice that, like, it's you know, I'm not shouting into the void. There's people watching. There's people liking, disliking, commenting, subscribing, unsubscribing. There's people doing this shit. They're interacting. I'm not just doing this and it's going out to no one. And that's a feeling that feels really good. And a lot of these things have been good for me to do. They've been good to get myself out there, to practice my speaking skills and doing these things and getting more comfortable with who I am and projecting who I am out into the world. Or I guess putting myself out there is probably a better way to say it. And just, you know, it's been a fun experience to kind of like learn these things and, you know, I don't know, learning to be a human being. It's interesting. It's fun. And again, I'm probably going to keep doing this content because the ASMR stuff feels good to help other people with that. The game review stuff feels good to keep my mind active and thinking about these things and why I love these games so much rather than just putting them in front of my face and being like, that's a game, I did it, whatever. And the music helps me work through stuff, which is maybe why music hasn't been out for a while. I haven't gone through anything real tough lately, I don't feel like, so I haven't had the big inspiration to be like, I'm going to write some sad music or something. I just haven't, you know, done that, but I'll probably keep doing that too, and the streaming, because then I'm just playing this when I'm playing games. I'll just stream it also. Like, the stuff is, What's the Deal with Sam, when I'm mad about things or think things are funny to observe or whatever, it's good for that. I think a lot of these things are good, and I feel like, you know, in some ways I've kind of grown as a content creator. In a lot of ways I've stayed the same, and I think both of those things are good the way they've happened. And hopefully you guys don't, you know, hate the content. Hopefully you haven't just left because I've gotten too different or because I've been too much the same or something, you know. I'm hoping that people are still enjoying it. even if it's only, a fraction of how much I enjoy it, because, I mean, somebody's got, fucking 1,700 videos and goddamn, 10 years of this when they don't even have 400 subs. I mean, it's kind of sad. If I didn't like it, I mean, if I didn't like it, I should maybe have said that. I'd be pretty. It's really not sad because I like it. What? What are you looking at? What? You have a problem? I don't have a problem. Fuck you. How about that? How about fuck you? That's a good way to end the video. Holy shit. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed the 100-year celebration of my... What? Fuck! Sweet. I think it's just that YouTube play button I've been waiting for. They probably finally got around to sending it to me. Yeah, let's keep this out of here. What is this?